Welcome back all to another video. I am the Evesham Gamer, Teg also I'm known as. So I just want to touch on a few things here that I haven't managed to touch on for a little while. My previous video about effectively the state of some games on the Xbox 360 that are completely unusable. Um, I think it's more one. I mean, unless someone's got the entire and can go through the entire catalog, or someone has seen another game that does this, that doesn't work, rather. I don't know. That's what we're here to discuss. Okay, so you might see something a little bit different. I'm using a different microphone and I'm using a different camera just because it's easier for me to go through some of the comments that some people have made on that previous video. That video being a worrying discovery for some physical Xbox 360 games pre 360 store shutdown. Take note. Someone and a few people quite like the fact that I went, I'm afraid I've got some bad news. Well, I don't think I've got any bad news this time, but I want to touch on a few things. So let's just move over to the comments, shall we? And have a look. Okay. Now, what I find kind of quite interesting here is let's have a little look, shall we? So the first one I wanted to pick up, which was that is Kinshasa. I think was the first one that I'd look at, so let's have a look on there. I think this can be bypassed since they are free DLCs. They have no license, which means you can download the backed up files from the internet and transfer them onto a USB drive. I have done that with my games such as Dash of Destruction, Doritos Crash Course 2. It works even on unmodified consoles. That is true. One of the general things that I've been seeing by the comments from people, and not just here on YouTube, but also on I put a post on the Xbox 360 subreddit on Reddit to see what other people said. And to be fair, it's mirroring the same sort of thing. So what people are saying here, I mean, the general consensus is there's a handful of games that could potentially be unusable. Now, I've tested a couple. Now, I forget who said this. There is, I think this was on Reddit actually. You're gonna have to forgive me. Okay, I don't generally do scripts. I don't generally do my research unless it's in here. So, or I test out a particular game myself. So that's why these videos are quite raw by myself. Anyway, I digress. So okay, so we'll start off first with the two games that I found that I was told wouldn't work without DLC. That's not true. The first game is Portal 2 on the 360. What I found was there's a system update of 3 megabytes. It forces you to do that. If you don't download that, now I'm not sure about these updates. It's a different update that basically doesn't allow you to play online, i.e., at all. It kicks you off of Xbox Live. I can tell you that does not affect the single player. Can tell you that update is needed so that you can play co-op. However, the issue you've got is, does that particular update, and that's the question I'm asking out to everyone, is does that particular update on Portal 2 affect the game after the 29th of July 2024? I don't know. Now, there is some DLC for Portal 2. It's called Peer Review. Comes in about 1.6 gigabytes, something like that. I can tell you that is only required for DLC maps and DLC co-op play. It's not going to affect the normal co-op play on Portal 2. So that's one to say that will still work. The next one that was brought up to me was Dark Souls 2. Now, this is a difficult one because some people would say, well, yeah, you need to have this DLC to play the game. No, you don't. You don't need any DLC to play Dark Souls 2 on the 360. Dark Souls 2 will continue to work in single player offline mode only. Now, here's the catch. When you stick that disc into your drive the first time, it will tell you to download an update. Pardon me. And it will download that update, and then it does this check. I forget what it's called at the very beginning when you turn it, just after the introduction screens. It gets that information, but, and here's the catch for that. Okay, so this is for any people that have said to me Dark Souls 2. Dark Souls 2, straight up. Well, I say straight up. It's not dead. You can play single player, as I said. But the Dark Souls servers were shut down on 31st of March 2024. So only what, almost a couple of months ago. You cannot play it online. You can't have those online. I've never really played Dark Souls games, so you're just gonna have to tell me. But my understanding of Dark Souls is like you can there'd be other people within the game type thing, you know. And you're even in it's a single player experience. There's other people in it. I don't know much more about it, but I can tell you that game will work after the 29th of July. No issues there, just single player only. The third game that I want to mention, and this is pretty much just an honourable mention or dishonourable mention, as the case might be, is Defiance on the Xbox 360. Defiance was shut down a while back. You can still buy the game. You can buy the physical disc, but it does not work full stop. It just the only reason to own that game is to have it. I mean, you can turn it on and it will load to the title screen, but that's it. You can't play it because it's all off. It's gone now. It's that is an online only game, very much like World of Tanks. The actual disc, at least, anyway, it was an online game only. So, well, there's another mention there. World of Tanks on the 360, the disc version. Those are for collectors now, just to have it in your collection. There's no other reason to own them unless you want a cheap bird scarer where you can hang the discs in your tree on a bit of string to scare away fucking the rooks and the fucking sparrows or whatever you want to do. So there you go. Okay. So anyway, let's just have a little. You know, I haven't gone off on a tangent. I've just told you how it is. Okay. So okay. Never been any good at this. Let's have a look. So who should we address first, other than that first one that I said? Okay, let's just go back to that for a second. So as I said, that user, who is it now? Kinshasa. They talk about downloading the files. I believe you can download the files from what's it called? I can't remember the name of it now. There's a particular website where you can download. I think it's called Archive or something like that. Archive.org, something like that. You'll know what I'm talking about. But you can do that. What's being said here through a USB. So here we go. This user here. There's also another one which I need to mention as well. Somewhere down the bottom here, someone put the 3 letters. Was it on here or was that on? Oh, crikey! I think that might have been on That might have been on Reddit. I ain't bringing it up now. It's too late. You'll find it. You'll find the post on the subreddit on Xbox 360. Well, anyway, maybe it was on here. Let's have a look. Let's keep going down because we got someone here asking about Dead or Alive 5 for PS4. So that's entirely different. I believe that's still live because is it Koei, whoever it was that made Dead or Alive 5, basically just moved it over to the Xbox One and the PS4, PS5 series, whatever. And that obviously works fine. Apparently, your DLC from the 360 and PS3 gets moved over if you've already got it. I haven't noticed that, to be perfectly honest with you. But anyway, I'm sure there was a comment down here, 3 letters. And I'm sure if you're watching this, you'll know what 3 letters they are. Let's just keep moving down. Oh, look at that. Look. Sure it was on it. Look, I don't know what's going on my feckin' screen. It's too bloody slow. No, I think that's all the comments. Or like this one. Who cares? No one is playing Resident Evil Revelations online. Who's that? All Whitney 68. Well, fine. You don't care. Does it matter anyway? But it's a comment. A comment's a comment, and it's a valid point. But people are still playing it. So, well, anyway, I don't know if it was on here. RGH or H, as some people put it. RGH is the way forward for you to be able to play a lot of these games that are on the Xbox 360 that are going to be delisted. Obviously, but I mean, that is the way to do it. And if you are not technical enough to do it, and most people aren't, I mean, I haven't even attempted to RGH one of my Xbox 360s yet, but I will get there. It is you can buy them. There's people out there that are doing this and selling on these consoles. I can think of 2 places that are legitimate. I'm not going to put links here. I don't have to do that. You can do your own research. That's what I have to do. But but I'll always help out in some way. RGH is the way forward for that. But to add to this whole 360 scenario that's coming, isn't that people were just asking, saying, "Can Microsoft please give us discounts on Xbox Live Arcade games and normal ones? You know, well, basically games that are not backwards compatible." And they've listened. They've given about 60 games, which isn't all of some of those are backwards compatible, and I think it's on the excuse me, it's the 18th of June, something like that, and the 19th of July, I think. Well, they're going to be like letting more go. I've had at least 8 or 9 games for about 67p. You can't complain with that. And for those of you that want to play Sonic the Hedgehog 2006, it's currently very, very cheap because it's non-backwards compatible title on the Xbox 360 store. Pick that one up if you want to, just because you've probably heard so much about it. Anyway, I digress. I'm always digressing. Okay, so to recap. 1, Dead or Alive Arcade, Dead or Alive 5 Ultimate ain't gonna work. It's not gonna work up at 29th of July. Fact. Okay? That's it. Resident Evil Revelations. Even though the servers are still up for that game for online play, you will not be able to play that after the 29th of July unless you've already downloaded the free DLC for it. Okay? Still play the single player. Portal 2 will still work after the 29th of July on the disc. Okay? I don't even know if that's backwards compatible. I don't think it is. But anyway, if it is, then ignore what I'm saying. But I'm pretty sure it isn't. Anyway, yeah. So that Portal 2, you can only not play, as far as you can only not play the peer review DLC. You can't play it. No, you can play it, but you've got to download it beforehand. Otherwise, that part of it won't work. Okay, but the multiplayer will still work without that. But just you won't be able to play the bonus maps and things like that. And Portal 2 has a 3 megabyte update that forces you when you put it in the tray. Don't know if that's going to be affected. We're going to have to find out. Finally, Dark Souls 2. I'll say finally. Dark Souls 2. The servers are offline anyway. Doesn't fucking matter. Okay, so Dark Souls 2, which was mentioned, no. And obviously the honourable mentions, which don't work now anyway. So is the physical disc of World of Tanks and excuse me, the game Defiance. Don't work because the multiplayers were shut down on the 360, so it don't fucking matter. Remember what I said, folks. Okay, bird scarers or beer mats, whatever you want to do with them. You could do what my mate Darius does. He sticks them in his glasses like this, and goes, "Do it now." Strumps his head, and they flip back. It's a bit of a party trick, apparently. But anyway, I don't know what more to say. Really, thanks to everyone that commented on this video, on the video, not this video, and this video, but the previous video. Good discussion going on there. I like it, and hopefully one day I'll have something else similar for you. In a similar context, but I never expected to get 12,000 views on that video. Fucking hell. But clearly, Xbox 360 is a hot topic right now. But yeah, there you go. So thanks for watching this video. I hope you found my ramblings and tripping over myself interesting. And I hope you might have learned something. But and again, finally, thanks very much for taking part in the conversation on the previous video. If you've got anything further to add, drop it in the comments below. And I'm going to try and take a little break from Xbox 360 stuff for now, because I've got so much I can go over. I just don't. Everyone's doing it right now, and maybe take a little break. Try something different. You want some Mega CD? I think I might do that next. Who knows? Maybe GameCube, which I've been banging on about for ages. Anyway, take care of yourselves, and thanks for watching. See you later.